In 1945, at the height of World War II, a young Japanese lieutenant named Hiro Onoda was sent with his soldiers to the Philippine island of Lubang to fight against the American invaders. Mysterious sounds, like the sound of birds and wild animals, are echoing in the forest. Onoda and his soldiers are fearfully waiting for the enemy. The possibility of a hand-to-hand fight is high. That's why the knives have been taken out of their sheaths. We see the determined image of Unada reflected in the gleaming blade of the knife, giving the command to attack, her scream echoing through the forest, and a squadron of birds flying overhead. Unada and his comrades considered themselves the last hope of the emperor and vowed to fight until their last breath so that Japan can get rid of the crisis it is in. They were very successful in several skirmishes with the Americans and thought they were approaching victory, but that was not the whole story. The unequal battle between Japan and America turned into a miserable disaster that mankind had never experienced before. Unaware of the news of the war, after fighting the American soldiers, Unada and his companions returned to their shelters deep in the forest to prepare for the next attack. But the war ended suddenly. The Emperor of Japan surrendered, but Unada and his soldiers remained unaware of this news. Unada and his soldiers continued their battle, unaware that the world had completely changed. They still believed that the war was over for good and were very determined in the next attacks. Years passed, and Unada became a ghost in the forest. During these years, his soldiers either died or fled the forest. He attacked the local people and killed them, thinking that the war was not yet over. It was terrifying. Filipino authorities repeatedly tried to convince Unada to surrender, but he refused them every time. With the passage of time and distance from the war years, Unada was not forgotten. His life story was a legend that patriotic Japanese people believed in. Many thought that this conscientious warrior was dead and gone. In 1974, Yoshimi Tanaka, a Japanese student, went to Lubang Island to find Unada and find Unada with great persistence and curiosity. It was a great discovery that surprised the world. Anka patiently showed Unada that after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the war is over and Japan has become a new and advanced country after passing this era, and now it is time to return home. After living in the forest for 29 years, Unada finally returned to Japan and received a hero's welcome. Hiro Onoda's story is a story of courage, a story of the best loyalty,